All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me today. I've made this video today for my patients who come and see me for their hearing needs. I made this one specifically just to help show my patients who have a little bit of difficulty when it comes to taking care of their custom hearing aids. So this video is just going to be dedicated to show everyone just how to change filters, how to clean your hearing aid, how to change batteries, and how to charge them if they're rechargeable. So have a sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy the video. All right. Okay, so first I'll start by explaining custom hearing aid. A custom hearing aid is a hearing aid that's made, that's customized to the shape of your ear. So we have many styles of hearing aids. Usually we have behind the ear style or BTE hearing aid, or in the ear style hearing aid, which we also call a custom hearing aid. Just to explain that in detail so you can see what I mean. That's a typical behind the ear hearing aid. So this sits behind the ear, and then this bit here is what goes into your ear. So this is known as behind the ear hearing aid, and that's what we call a receiver. And right in the middle there, right in the center of it, that's where there is a wax filter. But today I'm just going to concentrate on these custom hearing aids, and then if we still have a little bit of time, I will then quickly also mention how to fix the behind the ear style. All right, so behind the hearing aids is going to be done on my next video. All right, so let's go and discuss further this custom hearing aid. And here today I've got what we call in the ear ITE custom hearing aid, which is the largest version of the custom hearing aid. These ones particularly are rechargeable as well, so you can place them in a charger like that and they'll charge themselves. You don't have to change any batteries. Very convenient, and that's what most of my patients seem to prefer these days, especially if you've got poor dexterity. So this is a good one for those kind of patients. Next here I've got what we call an ITC, or in the concha hearing aid, similar to a in the ear, but it's just a little bit smaller version of it. Okay, and this particular one uses a battery. So if you need to change the battery, it's very simple. You just gotta open the battery door in there, and that's where you place your battery, and then you close the battery door. And that's how you turn it on and on by closing the door, and off by opening the battery door. So in this case, if I need to open the battery door, I just pull that. There's a groove right at the edge there. You pull the groove, you should be able to release the battery door, and then you should be able to place the battery in there. The side facing up is the positive side, or the flat side. The bumpy side is usually the bottom side. That's the side that goes in first. Okay, that's called a custom hearing aid. ITC, this is just another, this is what we call a CIC. This is, once again, it's a little bit smaller than the ITC. We got the CIC, and then that's a CIC as well. And then finally we've got the really small one, smallest of them all, which we call an IIC. So this is the smallest version of the custom hearing aid, and they all pretty much work the same way. So the question is, how do you clean the hearing aid? Because I've got a patient of mine who came and saw me, who's having a lot of, actually not him, but his friends wears a custom hearing aid, and he's been having, the friend has been having a lot of trouble cleaning the hearing aid, and the friend lives in a nursing home, and the nursing home sometimes may not know what to do. So this video is just designed to help to actually explain the whole process for them. so if they watch it, they can know what to do. So also share this video to anyone out there who you know who's got a custom hearing aid and who's having trouble to cleaning the hearing aid or changing the wax. Okay, firstly, I'll show you how to change the wax. I'm just going to pick one hearing aid to demonstrate for that. So I'll go this one. Okay, so just to explain, now there's two vents on the custom hearing aid. We got vent that's got a white ring on it, we call that filter. And then we got a vent that's open, that's just a normal vent to let air in and sound out, and also to just help with ventilation. But the most important one is the vent that's got a white ring on it. Okay, most custom hearing aids have this style, not all of them, but most of them will be designed in this way. So this is what blocks with wax. So I'll bring it closer so you can have a look. Right there, that white thing right in the middle there, that's what blocks with wax usually and stops the hearing aid from working. So if your hearing aid is not working and you've changed your battery or you've charged it if it's rechargeable, or you've changed the battery if you use a disposable battery, 9 out of 10 times usually something simple. It's just this white ring there, which you call a filter, is blocked. So you got to change that. And I'll show you, it's very simple. So what you do is you'd grab in your kit, you should have been provided with one of these filter packets. This is how they look like. There could be different versions, sometimes different color as well, depending on what you get. They're all different, manufacturers make them differently, but they all function the same way. So in this case, usually they have 8 in there for most of them. So this one's already been used, so someone's missing, so just grab one. So when you look in here, this is your filter changing kit. You can see there's a white new filter there, the white one. Hopefully you can see that on the camera. I'm just gonna try and bring it a bit closer. Okay, so that's the filter, and on the opposite side there's nothing. There's just a bit of a bumpy grabbing portion there, knob there, as you can see. Yep, so that's where this is where the old filter will go. By poking through the middle there, that should then poke and lift it off, and then you'll turn around and you're gonna stick the new filter in where the old one came from. So I'm just gonna do this to show you. So it's quite simple. I'll try and bring it closer so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm literally going right in the middle of the filter there. Okay, then I'll push until I can grab it, then I'll pull, and you can see I've lifted that off. Now there's 2 empty spots. That round small section there, that's where the old filter has been sitting. So I turn it around and I'll stick in the new filter in there like that. Okay, there you go. Sometimes it takes a little bit of practice to get it right. Okay, this one is kind of a bit sticky because this is actually just just gonna try again. Sometimes you may have to do this a couple times to get it right. Just gonna try one more time. There you go, and then you may need to push it with your, sometimes, usually it can go straight in, but sometimes you can have it a little bit stubborn like that. But once you push it through, use your fingers to give it a good nudge. Make sure it's sitting all the way fully, nice and comfortable. And there you go. That's how you change your filters. That's a new filter. So this should now make your hearing aid work again. If your hearing aid had stopped working because the wax had gone in and blocked there. So that's how you change your filter. For most all the custom hearing aids, they all have that. All of them tend to have that. Even if you pick this one here, this has just got a different version. It's a little bit larger, so you may need a different style. So you may need a bit, maybe a thicker stick with thicker, rounder or bigger ring to go in there. Ask your professional audiologist to supply you with the right one. They're all different. They're not the same. Every manufacturer has a different version of this, or slightly larger or slightly smaller. So it just depends on which one suits your model. So just check with your provider to make sure you get the right one. And on the odd occasion, you may get one of these style of custom hearing aid. And as you can see, this one doesn't have a filter. It's a little bit different. Okay, this one's can sometimes be there. It's just a different version. This one has a flip door, which just open. Okay, and usually there's no filter in there because this acts as a filter anyway. And usually this one is quite simple. You just open the door, clean around there. You can use a brush or a cleaning tool. Usually have a cleaning brush that they give you that you can just use there and scrub that a little bit. Maybe tissue, and then you close it back again. So this is usually a little bit easier, especially the older style custom hearing aids used to have this style, and there's still some out there that do that, but most these days tend to just prefer to use the one with the white ring on it. Okay, so hopefully that has explained to you how to change your filter if it's needed. Okay, so just do that. Sometimes I get asked a question, how often should you do this? Usually you should try and do this as on a case by case as need be. If your filter is full of wax and it's blocked, that's when you change it. Or if you notice that your hearing it's beginning to sound softer than normal, that's a good sign. You should change it. But you don't want to be changing this every day. It's not necessary, and it's expensive because those filters cost money. So where you can, just try and just avoid that. You can clean this filter by using a brush. This small brush, it comes with a hearing aid. Just brush over it. Sometimes it just cleans it up, and you're good to go. Okay. Now just a little bit final information that you might want to know. Some hearing aids come with a retrieval line. So this is a good option when you get a custom hearing aid. Ask your audiologist to include this on the order. It just helps you to pull the hearing aid out from your ear. If it's broken, usually they can fix that for you as well. Just send it back to them. They can send it to the manufacturer to put on a new one, because this does break after long use. After a couple of years or so, the plastic gets hard and brittle and breaks off. But it is quite handy, especially if you're using the smaller versions, the IICs. That's when this really becomes important, because it's so hard to reach in to grab the hearing aid from deep in your ear, because this one sits really deep in your ear, unless you've got this to pull it out. All right, and just for maintenance sake, to explain a bit more, most hearing aids will come with a different color. Red is always for the right side, and blue is always for the left side. Okay, most hearing aids also usually have like a direction to let you know which side is pointing upwards. So this one has got a hole in it. If it's a red one, some will have a red dot if it's on the right, some are blue dots, so that's usually the top side. As you place it into your ear, the color bit there usually points up, so make sure you put it in the right way, so you're not putting it back to front, like in that sense. You want it facing up, and then you pop it in your ear. So that's one thing to remember. Always make sure you open the doors, your battery doors, if it's using a battery. like in this one is a battery version, so always make sure you have the battery doors open all the way before you store it. That just helps you to save battery life and also stops corrosion, because if you leave your hearing aids with the battery doors shut and you leave it for a long time, the battery will start to leak, and that will start to affect the hearing aid. It can corrode the metal couplings in there and just destroy your hearing aid over time. So always leave the doors open when not in use. When in use, you close the door. This is specifically talking for the ones that use a battery, a disposable battery. If it's rechargeable, like this one for example, there's no door, so you don't need to worry about any of that. Okay. And finally, most of these custom hearing aids usually have buttons. Like this one has got a button. This one actually has two buttons. It has a wheel. I don't know if you can see that. There's a wheel and there's a button there. So the wheel usually is a volume wheel. So by spinning it one direction with your finger, just grabbing your finger like that and then just swirling it around like that. One direction is usually turning it up and the other direction is turning it down if you want to turn the overall volume down. And the second bit there is if you've got programs on your hearing aid, you may have a noise program or a quiet program or a TV program, inbuilt music program. By pressing that, you can change between programs as well. So something to keep an eye on if your hearing aid has that. Sometimes your hearing aid can have all this, but they've been disabled by a professional. So it's something you need to check and confirm if they've been programmed to work or if they've just been disabled, because sometimes they can still be there and they've been disabled. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully you've learned something new and hopefully it's been helpful to you. This was just a very deep review on how to change your wax filter and just a general features of custom hearing aids. If you like this content, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe, and all the best with maintaining your hearing aid, either for yourself or for your family member who needs one. Thank you very much and see you in the next video. Bye bye.